Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I gave a little hint before. But this time, we want to take a look at this magazine-sized magazine. Well, it's actually a magazine, black and white magazine of Space, 1999, issue number 1 for $1 from 1975. Charlton Comics, Charlton magazines, and as I said, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I briefly showed some other issues in this from this run in another context, but I hadn't shown this one or done in depth. This time I wanted to do a little in depth. There's some great, of course, this is a very outdated Space 1999. Of course, beautiful cover painting by Morrow. Morrow is the primary artist. There are two artists in here, including Morrow, and of course he's done a lot of stuff. Is a mainstay in comics. Co-created Man-Thing at Marvel, and he's done a lot of things. In the early 70s, he did a whole bunch of cover paintings for the Perry Rhodan science fiction series of novels. He did a lot of horror stuff at some early horror stuff, I should say, at Archie Comics. A lot of stuff for the Warren magazines, and done some Star Trek. Did the Buck Rogers comic strip revival in the early 80s based on the TV series. And as I said, he's done a little Star Trek. And I don't know what else he's done. He's done a lot of just regular mainstream stuff. Okay, but for those who don't know what Space 1999 is, of course, Space 1999 was a British science fiction television show which ran for 2 seasons in 1975 to 77. And it was... in the context of the story, it was a nuclear waste disposal area on the moon explodes, propelling the moon out of Earth orbit and out of the solar system, along with the inhabitants of Moonbase Alpha, to wander through the galaxy from star to star. And it was created by Jerry and Sylvia Anderson, who is known as better known for doing all those puppet kids shows like Fireball XL5. Supercar, etc., and also had the other earlier live-action science fiction TV series UFO. And this show starred Martin Landau, Barbara Bain, and Barry Morse. So Charlton Comics published a series of the full-color comics based on the show for 7 issues, and had 8 issues of the black and white magazine. And many well-known artists worked on the series, including, of course, John Byrne, Joe Staton, Pat Boyette, and, of course, Morrow, among others. And I loved the show. They were trying to do something little like Star Trek, and something like 2001, and this is what they came up with. And I enjoyed the show. It even had some ties to Star Trek in that the second season, Fred Freiberger, who was the writer and the producer for the 3rd season, produced the 2nd season of this show. And they are probably best known for the really cool design of their spaceships, primarily of course, the Eagle shuttlecraft. So we'll just try to do a run through briefly to show you some. So of course, our regular magazine has some prose articles. See, how Space 1999 was born, etc., with a lot of photographs. And then here's the first story, The Last Moonrise. Gray Morrow, Nicola Cuti wrote it, and it is a very compressed adaptation of the critical parts of the very first episode, which I think they also did a more in-depth version in the color comic, but I'm not positive. And it introduces our main characters on the moon base. Stuff happens, things going wrong, which resulted. Oh, look at the beautiful artwork on these. It's amazing they was able to do these ships so well, because these ships are very complex to draw. And people injured, and this unusual things happening at this nuclear waste dump, causing ships to crash, people to go crazy, until finally it erupts and acts like a nuclear engine, and just pushes it right out of Earth orbit and on out of the solar system. And but it gives no representation of what that would the disasters that would cause on Earth. Then our second story, which is written by Joe Gill, and I don't know who this artist is. Again, some really fine stuff. But especially some of the main characters here, like you see here, are high contrast photostats of the photographs of the actors rather than artwork. He does that a little bit, so it's a little bit of a collage work here. And this is when they're farther away from the solar system, and they come running, bumping up against stuff, checking out this planet, which is appears to be no animal life at all, but it's overrun with all kinds of plant life. And then suddenly they start seeing animal life, but it's identical to stuff to earthly life. And go, what the heck? Even some of the plants start appearing to like more familiar stuff. And then people are attacked by vines and such, and fighting back against with both lasers and defoliant. And so even at one point, this giant dinosaurian type creature attacks them. And but they get back and they have samples of the plant life. They get back to Alpha. Again, they are attacked by this animal life, but they're able to plant life, but they're able to destroy it. It had even kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers had produced exact duplicates of some of our characters, and then had to be done away with. So, and again, here is the collage, high contrast photo of Martin Landau, and about this beautiful rendition. I think that's a photograph as well of the eagle, but it's hard to tell. They eventually overcome the plants, the invading plants, and defeat them. Then we have Finding a Home, another article. Then we have Cornucopia, again written by Nicola Cuti. And this is they find a ship coming in and is being attacked by some other ships. So they bring out the Hawks, which is something that they really didn't do much with until the second season. But the Hawks, which was a combat version of the Eagles, and they save that incoming ship, and it lands. They need some repair work, and here they meet. And here we see more standard looking comic book art. This alien who has this, what is it, cornucopia with it, and they find out that he was being pursued by these aliens because they wanted his cornucopia. It's some fine artwork. As you can see, this is like a very beautiful rendition of this lady's face. And this cornucopia, it acts a little bit like a I just had the word a minute ago, a replicator from Star Trek, and seems out of nowhere seems to create things, and then they discover that it's not just creating them out of nothing, because things start disappearing. Everything that the cornucopia produces, something else has disappeared. It's using raw materials, those materials, and he's trying to offer it to them, but they realize it's not so hot. Meanwhile, the aliens have they've rescued the other alien pilot from one of the pursuing craft. They were after him, and our visiting alien takes care of that alien, and but in the process, he had to sacrifice that cornucopia to save the life of one of the Alphans. Then zaps the alien, and he takes off. Then we find out he had a whole bunch of those cornucopias, because he had one cornucopia that produced a bunch of other cornucopias. So anything he wanted. So another article, visiting the stars. Martin Landau, Barbara Bain, both fine actors. Both before this were both best known for Mission Impossible, and they were also a married couple for quite a while, as well as romantic leads in the show. And then we have Endgame, again written by Nicola Cuti. This is drawn by Gray Morrow, so it has some really fine artwork. And this is they're coming to another planet. They see that there was a civilization there. It's devastated. It's been many years, maybe centuries, since this what appears to be war destroyed them. Professor Bergman wants to visit the planet because may be able to find some useful technology. So they get there and they see that had been all robot. But then they are confronted by active robots. So somewhere something was still active, even though the people are all gone. They go to hide in this building and barricading themselves in, find another bunch of robots and basically mothballs, but they find one survivor who seems to be in some kind of stasis, and she is. They figure out and release her, and some beautiful drawing by Gray Morrow, and you can see on that one too, because he's well known for his beautiful ladies. She comes out of it, but notice all of her decorations have the nuclear symbol on them, right there. Her earrings. Anyway, so she activates her robot bodyguards, and they just devastates the other robots. They devastate each other, but she's got another emergency exit they can get out of. They start to go out, but that place is blocked, and one of the Alphans is killed. But she knows just what to do. Has Commander Koenig race around while the machine is being distracted. Puts a device that she had on there. Kablooey blows it up, and now they can get free and get to the spaceship and head back to Moonbase Alpha. And but he's a little suspicious of her, and she seems to be wanting to get real close to Commander Koenig, which kind of makes the doctor. I suddenly can't think of her name. Dr. Helena Russell, a little bit on the jealous side, but she basically hosts the new friend, but things start happening. Then in the process, we find out that she is not even a living being. She is an android herself, but she had been programmed to find out that she had been programmed to destroy the leaders, to put an end to the war, which had already devastated the planet. So she is out to destroy Commander Koenig, because she's just programmed to destroy the leaders until he uses a little bit of logic, kind of like with Nomad on Star Trek. He uses a little bit of logic to point out that she had been the leader. She had given commands to Commander Koenig, and which he had followed, which meant that she was the leader, and so as a result, she self-destructed. Oh, and so you had several fine stories, some really nice artwork, and I just loved this series. I loved the TV show. I liked the comics. I liked the magazines. All a lot of fun, and so I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Tell me, have you read any of the Space 1999 comics? Do you remember the TV show? Did you watch it on TV? Watch some of the episodes were years later edited into a series of movies which were run on daytime television, etc. I used to have a small handful of videotapes with episodes of Space 1999, and I'd like to get the whole series on DVD now. So thank you again, and remember, comics are art.